everybody, welcome back to Pam's Cutting Board. If you're new, we'd like to welcome you to our channel, and if you've been with us for a while, we thank you so much for sticking with us. Today we're going to make my coleslaw. Now this coleslaw was born kinda from my mom's recipe partly, and then partly from my mother-in-law's. And I kind of married them both together and added a few of my ingredients, and voila, we have Pam's coleslaw. You're gonna need some cabbage. I put a little bit of green bell pepper. I put some carrots, and I've just got some of these little miniature carrots, and they're gonna soon go to waste if I don't use them, so I'm gonna use them in the coleslaw. We're gonna grate some onion and cucumber. I know a lot of people don't put cucumber in their coleslaw, but trust me, it gives it just the right taste. Okay, and we're gonna fix the dressing, but first I'm gonna cut up all these vegetables. I just cut my cabbage in half. I'm probably just going to use half of the cabbage. I'll see what the amount it makes. I might use a little bit of this, but it's just me and Wayne tonight. If we have leftovers, of course we'll eat it tomorrow. And I cut the half in half quarters, and then I just go right down, kind of like that at an angle. And it takes out that core.
I get that, don't I?
You want this?
Yeah.
Sure. You want some salt on it?
No.
Okay. You can't crunch it though while we're filming.
Okay.
Let me put it over here and save it for Wayne. That's edible. I call it the stalk. That's what Mom always called it. And Mom would always cut that out and give it to us kids, and we would eat it. But if you cut it up in your coleslaw, it's just going to be fibrous, and it's not a good texture in coleslaw. Or I don't like it. You just want to make sure all that's out. So I'll put this over here for Wayne. He can have another one.
Yes.
Huh?
I said yes.
Wayne,
me and my boys, we kind of like that. If you don't know who my boys are, that's Bentley and little Toby.
Toby, our boys. And I give it just a rough chop. Now, if you like a fine grated kind of coleslaw, you can go ahead and put that in a food processor. But I don't like that texture for coleslaw. I want mine chopped up. And I'm going to show you how I've chopped mine up just a little more finer, because this is obviously too coarse for coleslaw.
And there's hardly any left when I get in it.
Wayne loved. I would say this is probably one of his favorite side dishes.
Yeah. Well, my dish.
Yeah.
I could eat that. I mean,
plain.
it is good.
I took some of my mom's recipe, some of my mother-in-law's recipe, and then Pam's coleslaw was invented. I just take a little cutter. Sometimes I use that for a biscuit if I want a very large biscuit. It's a biscuit cutter. So I'm going to keep doing this off camera. If I need, I want about 3 cups of cabbage, and if I need to use a little more of this, I will. But I'll bring you guys back once we get all this chopped up, okay? See you back in a little bit. And this, can you get in there, Mike?
I can climb right in there, baby.
This is how I like it chopped. It's finely chopped, but it's not the grated, like you would in a food processor. We are picky over a coleslaw.
Well, when you get a bite, you know you got something.
Okay, now for the cucumber, I peeled it, and this don't have a lot of seeds, but if it was real seedy, I would take some of those seeds out. You can just take a spoon and go up it, but this one wasn't too seedy.
And please don't get upset with us about us saying, boy, this is good, or, you know. We say it, number one, because it is good. And number two, if we don't tell you how good it is, then you won't be tempted to fix it.
To us, this is the best coleslaw. It may not be to you. Some people may have another coleslaw recipe that they love, and that's fine. Everybody's different. Everybody has different tastes. But I just wanted to share with you my coleslaw. And this is my recipe. Like I said, over my married life, I kind of took a little bit of Wayne's mom, my mom's, and then I added a few things of my own and developed the recipe. And that's what we love.
And if I'm sticking my foot in my mouth, and which I always do, okay. Try this recipe, and if you don't like it, send us yours.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, we can't say we're trying them all, because, you know, there are a lot of good cooks out there.
There is.
And there's a lot.
We don't claim to be the best cook or anything about it. I just want to share with you some recipes.
What we think's the best.
Yeah, and how we cook. And I chopped this cucumber up really fine. You want it really fine. And I'm telling you, this gives the coleslaw such a fresh taste. I mean, it's really,
a little zing or whatever.
Yeah. It's that little something something.
Yeah.
And I chop it, like I said, really fine. I just keep going over it with my knife, and I kind of hold my hand right here to kind of stabilize it, and I'm moving this. And I'm going to put in the description box, as you guys know if you follow along, the complete recipe, how much cabbage for us, and then of course you can double it if you want to, or even have it if it's just a couple of people. I make a little bit extra. I've just cut up some green pepper. I'm going to chop that up really good too.
Wayne likes them chopped up real fine.
Wayne is not a fan of green pepper, but one day I made it. I don't think I had green pepper. And he was like, this coleslaw, there's something missing. I was like, yeah, it's the green pepper. I didn't have it. But I do have to chop it up fine so he can barely taste it.
But that's what makes it good. I mean, I never thought I'd say that, but it's good.
And this past weekend, I made 2 batches of coleslaw. The first one I made, I didn't measure because, you know, I made it for years. And when he said, we need to make coleslaw for our viewers. So then I made the second batch, and I knew about how much of everything to use, and I measured it so I could get you guys an exact recipe. The dressing that I make for this coleslaw actually came from my mom's best friend. My sister, she named my sister after her best friend. And so the recipe is years and years and years old.
Helen?
No, Francis.
Well, I know there's one of them because it's Francis Helen.
Yeah, my sister's name is Francis Helen. Actually, it's Francis Helen Jewell. And Francis was Mom's best friend. And she gave Mom the recipe for the coleslaw. And so that's what I've used.
Oh, don't you have pictures of them playing guitars?
No, that's her sister, her baby sister Helen.
Well.
And you can see I took a few minutes. I'm sorry if I bored you with it, but I want it chopped up really fine. And, you know, if you don't want it chopped up that fine, you don't have to. You know, I tell you, make it your own. I give you kind of a base recipe, You make it your own. I'm sure it made a mess. Okay, I like my carrot really fine. So I'm just gonna use, I don't know what you would call this, a zester, I think.
The onion exploded.
Okay.
I gotta get back.
I want the grated onion, and my onion is falling apart. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in a food processor. That I do like grated. And then I'll bring you guys back because you have to have that onion in there. We'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, so we've got it grated. I would have liked it a little bit more finer.
Let's see. I'm sorry. Okay.
But
that'll be alright.
it is what it is. This is the veggies.
That would go good on a hot dog, wouldn't it?
What, the coleslaw?
No.
The onions.
Those onions.
The coleslaw would too if you like it like that.
Yeah, I know. I've seen people do that.
Okay.
But it's, oh man, that looks good already, don't it?
Okay, so we're gonna pause it. I'm gonna clean my mess up and then we'll get on to the dressing. We'll see you back in a little bit. Okay, now it's time for the dressing. So first, we're gonna start with a little bit of mayo. Don't use Miracle Whip, use mayo. Because you're gonna add sugar.
Mayo don't have much sugar.
No, but the Miracle Whip, it does. It's kind of a sweet. I don't much care for it. We don't buy it. I think it's the kind that's sweet. Okay, because we're gonna add sugar. Now, if you don't want to use as much sugar as the recipe calls for, you can certainly kind of reduce that. This is going to be a little bit tight as we stir it up, but it will loosen up as it sits because you want the coleslaw to sit. Preferably 2 hours in the fridge so it kind of marinate together. Then I'm going to use a little salt and pepper. I told you this was my mom's friend's recipe for the dressing. She used, Miss Frances used milk. My mother-in-law used apple cider vinegar. I took the milk out and I put in the apple cider vinegar. So that's kind of where mine differs a little bit from the original dressing. But like I said, I kind of combined both of our moms. To me, the milk just made it, after it sets, it's going to loosen up. And it just made it too much liquid in the bottom. It's already going to have some liquid once this loosens up a little bit. So I didn't need any more. So well, I took the milk out and replaced it with this apple cider.
You made it your own. Mm-hmm. And then, too, I always pour the juice out and drink it.
Oh, he does.
I do.
He loves it.
Bless my heart.
Like I said, it is sweet. If you wanted to reduce the sugar that I've got in here, you can do that. Or if you wanted to use like a artificial sweetener or something, you could do that too. So now we're just gonna pour this over.
I feel so sorry for my nephew Blake. He'll comment on one of her meals or videos and he'll say, boy, that looks good, but I can't eat that anymore.
Yeah, he has diabetes.
He takes dialysis about 3 days a week.
Yeah, he does. Okay, now we just stir this up. You can smell that cucumber. And that's all it is. Once we get this stirred up really good, I'm gonna put it in this bowl right here. We're gonna stick it in the fridge, let it marinate a little bit while I cook. So with the coleslaw, we are going to have some chicken. And I've just took, these are 2 breasts, and I've cut them in half, and then I took a meat mallet and I pounded them so they'll be really good and tender. And I floured them in a little bit of flour, cornstarch, and a little bit of my house seasoning. And they've been sitting actually the whole time that we have been making the coleslaw. So it'll get, I want it to look, see how it looks wet? That will make sure that when you fry it, that batter, or not the batter, the flour and stuff will just stay right on there. And the cornstarch is to make it good and crispy. So we're going to have some potatoes, some fried potatoes. And I probably put, you want to come on over here, Wayne?
Move you out in there, Gilead. Is that what a Lady Gillian's called her? Gilead? There's Romeo and...
Actually, let's stay right over here for just a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I've just got my cast iron skillet, and I put probably about quarter, maybe a little bit over a quarter cup of canola oil. And this is how my mom always fried potatoes. We never had fried potatoes with the peel on them. Sometimes I do it if I'm in a hurry, but she never did. So I peeled them. And this is the way she sliced them. She never had a vegetable peeler or anything. She peeled them with a knife. And she sliced them almost like potato chip. They weren't as thin, but they were in slices. And you know, we usually do, or most of us, not everybody, but most of the time we do what our moms taught us. They're not perfect slices, but that's the way she sliced them. So now I'm going to go ahead and drain that water off and get it ready for that skillet. And I've got it on medium high right now. You want to drain them really well because you don't want that water hitting that hot oil, because then it's going to splatter up and it's splatter on you. So be careful. And I'll take and add them by the handful so I don't get any water over there. We're going to have some, like I said, the fried chicken, and then we're going to do a honey butter sauce. That is good. I'm just going to put one in there, and when it starts frying, then I know it's ready for the rest of my potatoes. Here at our house, we eat leftovers. So here's some green tomatoes, fried green tomatoes we had left over. I put them on a little rack so they'll kind of stay crispy. We're going to pop those right back in the oven. We got a little bit of cabbage left over. I'll pop that in the microwave right at the very end.
Everybody try to say cabbage 3 times. Fast as you can.
And I've got some cornbread left over. And we always, with this country meal, we like some onion on the side, some raw onion. So we've got that. So there's a lot of leftovers tonight, and that's okay. I mean, with today's prices, you've got to make it stretch and go as far as you can. So lightly, very easily, put your potatoes in there. And we need some potatoes. This is our last bit.
That's what I was going to tell you a while ago.
Yeah, I need to stop by the store tomorrow after work.
Try to look each other up dead in the eye, be serious, and say, cabbage, 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 without laughing.
And I add just a little bit of salt to taste. This is the way my mom done. We always put a lid on them, and she turned them quite a bit so that they would get that brownness on most of the potatoes.
You still do that, baby?
Yes, I do. I fry potatoes like my mom. And she always, I don't know really technically what this is, but she had one, and she always used this to turn her potatoes. Nothing else but this. And I do the same.
It's a TT.
Tater turner?
Tater turner.
Tater turner.
Boy, I'm finally rubbing off on you.
I know.
After 33 and a half years. 32 and a half years.
Yep. Once the oven comes up to temp, I'll put these in here. And we'll pop our cabbage in the microwave. We're gonna have a good supper tonight.
Little bit. Oh, okay, there's the cornbread. Now, can that be warmed up also?
You can warm it up. We're not going to. We're just gonna have it cold. We always
butter.
Well, I put butter on it once when I got it out of the oven.
Yeah, I know. It was good last night. I know.
And after they start browning really good, then I'll go ahead and turn it down on kind of a medium low and then let them completely get done. This lid is going to help them steam, but then the heat up a little bit will let them brown too. So it's doing dual purpose there. Okay.
I love them. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just want to say I love them when they get brown like that.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and make us a honey butter sauce. And now this recipe, honey butter sauce, I won't go over everything in detail, but I do have a video and I will put it in the description box linking it. It was one of our earlier, well actually some of our first videos when we started this channel. So you can watch it and see how if we've come forward or if we've went back. So, I don't know. Hopefully we've come forward. But we made the honey butter sauce with the fried chicken. And it is so good together because you got that sweet and salty. And that's what we love. Okay, see how they're starting to brown? Just kind of, they've been going probably, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe?
I was about 10, but...
No, not 10. But that's what we want. We want as many potatoes as we can to get that brown. So what we do is we just turn them off. And you can tell they're starting to look a little translucent. So let's go ahead and put our lid back on. And wasn't I lucky? I have this skillet, and when I found this, the lid is interchangeable. Yes. Okay. And I went ahead, instead of putting my cabbage in the microwave, I just put in that skillet. So now we're going to go ahead and add our ingredients for this honey butter sauce. That was, I had butter in there, sugar. We're going to add some garlic, some red pepper flake, and that's optional. If you don't want the red pepper flake, you don't have to add that. Soy sauce. I want a little bit of honey.
Now you have that on the video, right?
Yes.
I know I was talking there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll link the video if you want to go and get the exact measurements for all of this. We're just going to have the recipe for the coleslaw. But we just thought we would give you a little bit of a bonus video and kind of show you our evening. Now, I've worked today, but the rest of the week, well, I think Wayne wants lasagna, so I'll probably make lasagna one night this week. And that will probably be all the cooking I will do. Then Wayne will take over and cook the rest of the...
I may make you all McWayne.
Yeah, he's got a sandwich that he's nicknamed McWayne. So there it is. So all you need to do now is just to let that kind of warm up really good. And this sauce has to be served warm because as it cools down, it's going to harden up kind of into like caramel, so it has to be warm when you serve it over your chicken. So we're just going to go ahead and turn that on low. I need to wipe that water out of that. We're going to go ahead and get our chicken in here. Skillet was clean, it just had some water from the lid, and I didn't want it to pop when I turned it on. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down a little bit to like medium.
It won't burn, really.
That's the reason I'm turning it down.
Yeah, I have come up with a McWayne.
It's a breakfast sandwich.
Well, I was going to say it's a breakfast sandwich, but you can eat it anytime you gotta eat and run.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn my potatoes again.
You better watch me, guys, and pray for Pam. I'm starting to cook a little more.
Pray for Pam.
I've got her some antacids.
Wyatt's becoming a good cook. Actually, he helped me when we first got married. But then he kind of got out of practice. And then I started working and just got so busy I needed help. So then he started to get back in and helping me. But he'd lost a lot of the things he knew. Okay. Once this flour comes up to temp, we'll go ahead and put our chicken in. We got our tomatoes heating up back in here.
Oh, wait a minute. There we go.
Don't look at my dirty oven. It ain't been clean. Okay, we'll bring you guys back when we get ready to put that chicken in.
It's self-cleaning,
But we won't use the self-clean because we messed up an oven like that. And we don't want to mess this oven up.
back in a moment.
Okay. Okay, my sauce just came to a boil. So, you just want it just boiling. And then I'm going to go ahead and turn that down.
I can't see it, baby.
My chicken. Get ready to put my chicken in. I may have to fry this in 2 batches.
And I do apologize for not getting you a good shot.
So this is boiling. So now we just got to keep that warm because we're going to pour that over the chicken once we get it on our plate.
With a warmer.
We'll turn that down on 2. Let's stir cabbage. Now we're going to check our potatoes.
The warmer will keep it warm. Probably not.
Ooh, look at those.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to break up as you turn them, and that's okay. That's fine. And if you wanted to cube them up, even with a peel, you can do that. I mean, I'm just showing you how my mom taught me. I don't remember, did Janice do her potatoes this way?
No, she cut them in little, you know how we make a wedge?
Cut them in little, yeah. I know what you're talking about. That's how a lot of people do, but that's how Mom done hers. Look at that.
Looking good.
Yeah, I turned them down on medium. I turned them back up, get them a little more brown. So just kind of play with your stove and see where it needs to be. You see this, how it's boiling? That's done. So we're just going to turn that down on low. We'll turn that chicken down just a little bit. Okay. Now it's just go ahead and get it done. So we'll bring you guys back once we get everything done. We'll get ready to eat. I've turned these potatoes. Look at them. Don't they look yummy? Oh, my mom was the best hand at frying potatoes.
Well, she would be proud, baby.
Oh, I can't do nothing compared to her. I'm going to turn those down now. And just let them finish getting through.
Let me heat up for just a little bit.
I'm going to check this chicken. And I did wash these tongs after I put the raw chicken in here. I washed them so I could turn that. That's about ready. The first batch is.
Well, what's the thing? Let's do this chicken.
And I use a meat thermometer while I was caught at work. Yes, they are done. They're perfect.
Well, I have to use one, or I'm afraid I don't get it done.
Yes, chicken, you have to have it at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit. I usually try to go a little bit more, just because I like the texture of the chicken better. And I put it on a rack so it'll stay crispy. If not, it's going to get soggy on you.
What's that?
Okay, so we're going to put in our second batch.
Yeah, my boy. And Pam has put the pressure on me. She got me some 38 pants. And look how she cooks.
Me and Wayne both gonna have to quit eating. Well, not quit eating. We're gonna have to slack up, maybe go healthy. Would y'all like to see some healthy meals? I really don't know how to start eating healthy. I mean, I've eaten like this all my life. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down.
Yes,
they're done.
that is good.
Just keep them warm, and then we'll finish your chicken up. Okay, guys, we are back. Let me show you Wayne's plate. Here's the coleslaw, and you can see it has some juice in it. So it loosens up. Fried potatoes, fried green tomatoes, got a slice of onion, some cabbage, cornbread, and here's the chicken with the honey butter sauce.
That would be good.
Yep, that's our supper. So he's going to try the coleslaw, and I hope that you guys do too, because we love it.
And I hope didn't bore you, but I enjoy spending time with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry if it got too long. Is it what you like?
Perfection.
Perfection.
It's good. Please try this. Please try it. I mean, it's good. I wouldn't, well, you guys know I wouldn't lie to you. And it's good. And we love you all. Got a prayer request? Put them in comments. And we'll put them in the book, our prayer book. Your prayer book, our prayer book, and we'll pray. We'll pray as we're putting them in, and then we'll pray over them every night, sometimes twice daily. We really care for you guys, even though we've not got to meet. But I can't wait to dig into that, and especially the honey sauce.
Honey butter sauce.
Honey mustard.
Honey butter.
Honey butter.
Honey
I can't
butter
get it right,
sauce.
but I can get it in my mouth. So I guess we'll let you go.
And look at those potatoes.
Yeah.
We'll try that.
I started to do that. She's munching out and going, talk, so I can eat.
It's good, guys.
Yeah, I was wanting to hear y'all hear her munching away. But she's got it. We do. I mean, love is a word that's just thrown around. People say that and they don't know you the next day. But we love you guys. And we know the feeling, or feel like, y'all care for us. Take care of each other. Love each other. And if you can, get your young people to watch the film of When I Got Hurt.
When a Beautiful Day Turns Tragic is the name of it.
Okay.
If I don't forget, I'll try to link it.
Because, I mean, it's just on my heart to ask you to do that. Love you all. See you next time
On the cutting board.
Cutting Board.
Bye-bye.